welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, guys. I'm still going to talk to you about how my surgery went, and today I'll do that since my significant other is at High Chaparral with the kids and my mother-in-law. So on May 16th, I had an operation on my left ankle, this here, to fix a split tendon. I'm just going to move just slightly. And I got there at 11, and I didn't know that the actual surgery was going to be at 1 o'clock, but sometimes certain things in my head don't compute. So I got there at 11, and soon I was called back, and they prepped me for surgery. I got dressed in a gown, these stockings that came up to my knees, and some underwear. And I got an IV in right about there. I came close to fainting, but it wasn't close enough where ammonia had to be used or a cloth had to be put on my head. Let me just change this since that is just, yeah. Okay. So anyway, got slightly faintish, but I didn't come close to fainting or fainted. Then I was given some morphine and some painkillers, so I wasn't in so much pain when I woke up. And they gave you a little bit of water, and unlike last time when I had surgery on my cervix to remove abnormal cell growth, I didn't nearly choke on the pill this time like I did last time. And my significant other was actually pretty impressed by that. He gave me a thumbs up. Because it was 4 pills, and I had just not so much water to get all of it down. But, yeah, that went well. And then I put all my stuff in the bag. So, part of it was that my camera was in my bag. So, since my camera was in my bag, I couldn't film prior or even after the operation. Which might be common in Sweden. I don't know how it is in the U.S., so I couldn't give you guys a detailed update then. And even if I could, I would have been self-conscious because I didn't have a private room. When I first got called back, I was in a preparation area shared by other people, but we were separated by curtains. But you can still see people through the curtain, or at least their silhouettes. And then when I was in recovery ward, we were still separated by curtains, but this time it wasn't that high. But you didn't see the other person; you just heard them, and the wheels on the beds they were on, or the gurneys the beds were on. And then when I got to another ward before discharge, again it was the same thing like the first ward I was in when it came to preparing to go into surgery. So I didn't have any time to film or anything that day. Like I mentioned in a discussion, I think the day or two before I had surgery. So eventually I get reeled back, and I get a blood pressure cuff on my arm, some electrodes over my body to monitor my heart rate, and also my pulse and some other things. And I get hooked up to I think it measures the oxygen in your blood. I don't know what to call it, though. But anyway, that thing would become a pain in the ass as I'm recovering because it starts to hurt after a while. So that happens, and then they get me into the actual operating room. And I get on the table, and they administer the anesthesia. Now, for me, I think it's different than what it was in the States. It was general. I get general anesthetic, so I was put completely under. But, I don't know, it could be because it changed over the years. Because, like, when I had surgery on my knee, it was back in 2000. So this was, like, 19 years ago. But they administered the anesthesia before I went in. But when I got anesthesia on the 16th, they put it in here, but they also, I could feel it coming, which I don't recall happening when I was 18, but I know it happened when I was 28, when I got surgery on my cervix as well as the other unmentionable, unfortunate thing happened. But I don't want to go into that one. So, my arm hurt as they administered the anesthesia, but they warn you about that. And they have oxygen mask over your mouth as you're going under. And then I woke up, and I was quite happy to wake up without, any issues. I didn't wake up during the surgery, and I didn't seem to have any complications during the surgery itself, because one thing I was kind of concerned about was my asthma. I have mild asthma, but my mild asthma usually affects me when I'm sleeping. That's why I use my Vivitrol inhaler before I go to bed, because it helps me breathe, and I don't have any issues when I use that before I go to bed. But I can stop breathing when I'm sleeping and stuff, so I think they call it nighttime asthma or nocturnal asthma or something like that. So that didn't happen, although when I woke up I had the breathing tubey thing using my nose, which is so annoying. So, did I say annoying? That doesn't exist. I had the breathing things in my nose, and I hate them because I feel like big ass boogers are in my nose. And the cast was on my leg. I felt a little pain, but not too much. Only when I wiggled my toes did I feel it. So they wheeled me to recovery, and I think the surgery, I know I went under around 1 o'clock, and I got out just before 3, so it was nearly 2 hours. So I was wheeled to recovery, and most of the time I was really tired. Even if I had my camera and I had privacy, I would have been too tired to film anything. But the one thing they kept with me during the surgery and even after, it was my inhaler. So if I did have an attack, I can have my inhalers. But I didn't need them. Oh, even though when I was dozing off a few times in recovery, I felt myself not be able to breathe. But then as soon as I woke up, I was able to recover and breathe fine. And I only use the Vivitrol before I go to bed and when there's a bad attack where I have trouble recovering my breath. So, after that happened, I eventually get something to drink, which was good because my throat hurt like hell. Because, they stick a tube down my throat when I was out. And I was really thirsty. I mostly had tea when I was in recovery. However, there was a woman next to me that had some sort of after-surgery procedure. And I don't know what it was exactly because 2 doctors or whatnot were wearing aprons, and whatever they were doing on her, something caused her to bleed a little bit, and I saw like 2-3 huge spots of blood on the floor. Now the thing about me is I have an aversion to blood, not just seeing my own, but seeing other people's blood. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, when I came to from the surgery, I had 2 needles in my hand. One was about here, I think, and the other one was like somewhere around here. I have no idea what those were for. I hope I didn't have an issue during surgery and they needed a blood transfusion or something, but as far as I know, nothing like that happened. But yeah, and then of course there was a lot of blood or dried blood on my wrist. I remember when I came to, I was wondering, what happened on my hand? What's all this stuff? And, of course, I didn't get an answer, so I don't know. I hope nothing happened to me during surgery, but as far as I know, it was uncomplicated or anything. So, going forward, again, because I saw this blood on the floor, I began to feel queasy, and next thing you know, I start throwing up. Well, I didn't throw up. I did heave, and I did, retch a lot, but I didn't vomit. I pissed 3 times, and all when I was doing that. So that was fun in itself, and then I felt better once the blood was wiped away and all. But I got another cup of tea, which made my throat feel a lot better again, since my throat got irritated from that. And then eventually they take me to the other ward. And I think I was in the first recovery ward for about 2 hours. And because this was an outpatient procedure and stuff. And then they took me to the ward that I would go to before I get discharged. And I got something to eat. It was a cheese sandwich. I didn't eat the cheese because I'm lactose intolerant, and cheese is one of the dairy products that I have an absolute full-on aversion to. I've said it before in one of my videos where I'm reviewing vegan food that not only am I lactose intolerant, but I seem to gag on half the dairy products when I try to consume them. Milk is one, sour cream is another, regular whipped cream is another, and most cheeses are. If a cheese is very high in dairy taste, I would literally gag on it. So, yeah. And cheese is one of the things I gag on unless it's melted on pizza or something, or it's mozzarella, or it has a very mild taste to it where I can't taste the dairy. Because anything that smells and tastes like dairy, I sound like Jackie from that 70s show, I get sick. I feel myself getting sick. So anyway, I mostly ate the bread and I ate the butter. Because butter's neutral for me. I know not many people put too much emphasis on the blood type diet, and I really don't till a point, but there is a grain of truth where O blood types, which I am, I'm O negative. It said they can't digest dairy products real well, and the reason why I say there's a grain of truth of it is because my brother, my dad, and I are all O negative blood types, and all three of us do not drink milk, and we don't eat a lot of dairy products. We can tolerate some, but even the some we can manage to consume without getting sick or gagging on, some makes us have issues. So yeah, I think out of the three of us, I'm probably the one that's most affected compared to my father and my brother. But anyway, so going back, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, butter is a neutral for me when it comes to the blood type diet. I can have it. It's something I shouldn't avoid, but it's something that wouldn't benefit me anyway. But anyway, moving on. I was mostly thirsty. I had another cup of tea. I had water, and I had a smoothie. And then I went to the bathroom, and I took a walker, which was, in my opinion, easier to get around with compared to the crutches I have right now, although I'm getting better at using them. So then my significant other arrives to pick me up and take me home, and it's like over an hour drive for us. And because originally where I got surgery at, we used to live in that county, but then we moved into this county, but they still took me and gave me surgery anyway. But I have to go to the hospital in Romano to get a cast and to get looked at by the orthopedic and stuff, so and probably get physical therapy as well. But anyway, I get released, but before that, I get told I need 10 injections, one for 10 days each, into my stomach to prevent blood clotting. And I know I can't inject myself. I hate needles, too. Not just going into my skin, but going into other people's skin. So, my significant other was going to administer the injections at home, and I got one tonight for 10 days, as I said. And then I was released, and we went home, and it was hard to get around on the crutches. They were just a bitch. But I finally made it into bed. I'm sleeping up here for the time being until I get better. And then I had to get the first injection that night, which hurt. Okay, it didn't hurt so much going in. It hurt when it was in there and when it came out. It was almost like a bee sting in a way. And one of the side effects to these injections was bruising, and I bruised on my stomach quite a lot. I think the bruises, I'm not going to show you it, but yeah, they're gone now. I've completely healed from it. But yeah, once a night, and sometimes it hurt going in, sometimes it did, and then other times, actually most of the time it hurt when it was in me and then it got taken up, but I never fought my significant other about injecting me with him. I wanted to get it over with each night at 8:30. So, but I haven't had too much pain in my left leg, the one that got operated in. However, I have a new issue where the right ankle is bothering me. But then again, it's been bothering me since last May. And when it started bothering me initially, the physical therapist thought, it's just hurting you because it's overworked. And, it's taking some of the stress from the other ankle. But it's been very excruciating getting around on this foot because it just hurts. I can't. Going between room to room is enough for me. I tried going on a train, and then when we were in Varmano, we went to this restaurant, and even going from the train station to that was a challenge. Same thing coming back. Same thing going back from the train station to the car. And yeah, so it's one of the reasons why I didn't go to the high shop roll today. I would just be in pain trying to get around because I can't. And it's weird because I can't stand on this foot after a while. And the thing is, I'm in a stage now where I can actually put about 45 pounds or 20 kilograms on my left ankle now. So it's taking some weight off off my right foot, but still painful with the right ankle. So I'm kind of hoping that I don't have an issue in that ankle too. Because if I do, I'm screwed. However, I decided that if I do have something wrong with my right ankle, I will get surgery done, but not this year. I think I'll wait till next year because I don't think I can handle 2 surgeries in 1 year. And people who have severe health problems are probably scoffing at me right now, but that's how I am right now. So yeah, and I've been able to do some stuff. I've been able to keep the dishes done and, keep up with the dishes, and I've been able to clean a little bit, but it's so hard to keep up. And of course I vacuumed today, which was a challenge in itself. I haven't been able to go downstairs much because going on the stairs just exhausts me. And it's not that I haven't done anything physical. I mean, just being on the crutches and traveling to a new room has been physical enough. Like sweating and, getting tired after doing that is enough. But I've been able to keep in shape a little bit. I've been able to do Russian twists. I've been able to do squats even though I just put my other foot up. I've been able to do squats and I've been able to stretch. So I haven't been completely immobilized and not being that active and stuff. So I have 3 more weeks left of this cast on. I got a different cast on, by the way. I got a new cast on last Friday. So it's been nearly a week since I have this one on. And I get this one off at the end of the month. And then I'll be done with wearing a cast. And then I'm probably going to go to physical therapy to help relearn how to do stuff and all. So, yeah, that's my experience with surgery and all this other stuff. My parents were here for 2 weeks. They were here a few days before I had surgery. So they were able to help out a lot with the kids and with the housework while I was recovering. And I thank them a lot for that. From the bottom of my heart, I thank my parents a lot for helping me out when I was recovering with the kids and cleaning up, especially since we had a party 2 days later after my surgery for my son's 6th birthday. And even my brother got to make it from England. My brother's currently in England right now because he serves in the Air Force and stuff. So he was able to come to Sweden, and that was awesome. It was great to see him. And it was actually awesome because for the first time in a while, all 4 of us were together, but we were together in Europe. So that was great. He wasn't able to stay long, but I was glad he was able to make it for my son's birthday party. So yeah. So if you like this video, hit like. If you subscribe, I'd be absolutely joyous. And we'll see you all later. Bye-bye.